And then you want to talk about some people fighting a monkey. What you want to do?
So the new Twitter and podcast craze is who would win 100 men versus one gorilla? Uh, so so I mean, people keep it depends on how we're doing it because if it's like an assembly line where it's just one by one, like
If it's
if
like
it's
a Power
100 v
Ranger
1, like
movie where they just take turns fighting
it
the
just
good guy,
then we have no shot. Then we have no shot. But if it's 100 men just like jumping the gorilla, I think we have a shot. And also, it depends on are we picking these men? Are we like doing a draft for these men? Like, are we
I
just
think
picking them
the
in
the
throughout
theory is
time?
it's 100 random men. You can't just go to the NFL and be like,
Oh,
"Hey,
well, I was
give me a
definitely
bunch of offensive linemen." Like,
that's dead
what?
ass what I was gonna say. That's dead. I was gonna be
uh,
like, just give me the 93 Cowboys offensive line.
no,
LeBron James, Draymond Green, Shaq.
I think the theory is you're supposed to just walk into a bar, grab 100 random men. But I mean, it's not as interesting. But the boring answer is we would win because we could communicate. We would be like, "Hey, we could talk." Like our evolutionary
Yeah,
advantage is one, our technology, but also the fact that we have language. So we would just be
yeah,
like, "Hey, you're the biggest guy. You're like, you ever play World of Warcraft?"
yeah,
Okay, so like, you know what a tank is.
yeah.
Okay, so like we would get the biggest guy. Okay, we're gonna have two or three tanks, and they're gonna distract him.
Yep.
And while you might take a beating, I don't know why you would sign up for this, but in this thing, we're gonna make sure that we have
Right,
100 dedicated people. You would be a tank, and then we're gonna have a whole bunch of
right.
other people hold them down, and then we're gonna have damage. Like, it was 100 of us. Like there's not, it would we would coordinate, and it would actually obviously we'd have some injuries, maybe some
Yeah.
casualties, some fatalities, but
It'd
it
be,
would be a lot easier
yeah,
than I think a lot of people realize.
right. To quote Lord Farquaad in Shrek, some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
You know, I don't know why anyone would sign up to do this, but in this hypothetical, we're
Yeah,
assuming
I
we have a
listen, I'm
hundred
not
dedicated soldiers to the cause of beating this
right.
gorilla. It
Correct.
would be, I think it would be a lot easier than people think because you would just, you would coordinate it because the gorilla can't talk, so it would be,
Yeah,
Also he has a lot less stamina than us.
true.
To circle it back to the book I'm reading, walking on two legs causes expends a lot less energy than walking on four legs. Have you ever
Yeah.
just tried to walk around on four legs for more than like an hour? You'll be like, fuck this. And so our evolutionary advantage is stamina. Like that's what we would do is before we had guns, we would
Yeah,
just run after the deer until the deer got tired because we could run longer because we're on two legs and they're on four. And so
true.
we would just tire him out because we expend a lot less energy to physically exert ourselves, even though he's 100 times stronger than us. So,
Right.
um,
And also, I mean, look, I'm not saying I'm volunteering to sign up. I don't want no smoke with no gorillas. I'm a peaceful person, you know what I'm saying? Animal rights, all that.
the first nigga to
But
get
I said,
hit is going
right,
to
he's dead.
black
He's done.
out.
He's done. He's done.
Oh my god! Like,
But I seen Tarzan choke out Kerchak, so I don't know, man.
yeah,
They may not be as strong as they look.
I'd have been in a fight before and been punched in the face and was like, oh, all right. I expect that to hurt that bad, but like man, there's always that moment in a fight where you're like, oh, I bit off more than I can chew.
Right. You're like, oh, you got hands for real. Okay.
Like, oh boy, I know everyone talks like they've won every fight. I live in the real world, and sometimes you
Right.
bite off a little more than you can chew.
Right. Sometimes you fight someone and you can't hit their face.
No, it's sometimes like 10 seconds into the fight, you're like, okay, let's just draw. Then I'm fighting for a draw. I'm just here not to embarrass myself because I bit
I'm here
off a
not to
little more
get
than I can
knocked
chew.
out.
I bit off a little more than I can chew, and I'm just trying to get out of this with a little pride. Just not get
Right.
completely knocked out.